this is short about our company, and here is the agenda, what we are going to talk about today. First, I'm going to tell you about security, how I see it. It's not scientifically proved or anything like that, but as security as I see it, and then a little bit numbers, because anyway, I'm a geek, so I see things through numbers. And after that, we will show security on an example and buying something online. And in the end, a couple of things which maybe or maybe you are not familiar with, but probably will be after this. So from my point of view, what is security? First of all, you have to know that there's no such a thing as 100% secure anything. So if you want to have a 100% secure web shop, then don't have it. And same thing applies to anything else. The second thing is that security and hackers, as you see it in Hollywood movies, actually don't exist. So guys who breach, I don't know, high secure environments in a couple of seconds actually don't exist. And now when I'm saying this, basically this is the only thing that makes us security people look cool and sexy. So I don't know why I've put this here. It actually is like that in real world, but no, I'm just kidding. I was referring here that actually when somebody is attacking you, and all those security breaches, they happen over a huge amount of time. And there's a lot of resources that these people invest in this, and basically they work in the same principles like everybody else. So they invest some kind of time, money, resources, knowledge, and they want to gain more than what they've invested. So that's why we come to the third point, where basically you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be the best, you just have to be better than somebody else. Because when the guys attack your company or your environment, and they see that they are investing too much to get something back, they will move to the next company or the next target. And actually this picture shows it perfectly, because here you don't have to be the fastest one, you just have to be the faster than the guy who fell down, because the bear will catch him and you are safe to go. And now I'm going to show you a couple of numbers. Nemanja showed it on his slide, but I think it's better to show you in dollars. So actually Juniper Research estimates that this year losses from e-commerce fraud will be $48 billion. So, you know, 1 year in fraud and then you are settled for life, and you will probably be among top 10 richest people in the world. And also what I wanted to show you in this table is actually the first row, because phishing is the most common attack in security world. And remember this, numbers are not so important, just the rank. It's the first rank last year, it will be the first rank this year, because later on I will show you why. And now we're going to move to an example just to show you how security works. So, you know, this year I was feeling quite confident about my body, and I decided to buy a swimsuit that actually fits me. And once I decided this, what would be the next thing to do? And just to give you a hint, here's the gift for the most active person during this presentation. So I encourage you to be active. And now the question is, what would you do the next? You decided, or I decided for this, and what would be the next step here? Everybody did this at least hundreds of times. So what's the next step here? Clicking a buy button, right? And then, what? Add to cart. Okay, I already added to cart, but let's say clicking the buy button. And then we will be redirected to something which is called a payment page. Yeah, I will just try to use this opportunity to do a little survey. So please pull out your phones. Go to it's a simple link, yes and no answer, so it's quite easy to do it. And everybody, okay, I see everybody's here. You just answer yes or no, it's up to you. It's for our internal purposes. Yeah. So after we've clicked that buy button, and this should have been animation, and it's not working, okay, we would be redirected to the payment page. So if you ignore the blue and red square, can anybody see the differences between these two payment pages? You have like 5 seconds. I mean, I like to see that you try, but actually this is a copy-paste of the same screenshot. So my point was that we as human beings, we would see those payment pages as they are. Technical implementation of those pages can be completely different, which takes us back to security. And that's how the impact on security can be drastically different. So on the, let's say, your left-hand side, this blue square is actually one web page. So everything is embedded in this one web page, which was usually developed by either your internal IT team or, I don't know, some external development agency, or maybe your neighbor's son who is good with computers and can do this for a couple of €100. But on the right-hand side, from your right-hand side, you will still see the blue square, which is actually the same web page, but the red square here is completely different page, which is provided by completely different company. So on the left-hand side, everything that is received by that web page goes through your systems, goes through your network. It's maybe stored on your servers in your database, while on the right-hand side, everything that's inputted in the red square, and I don't think you can see it, but this is actually where you put your card data, CVV, expiry date, first name, last name, whatever the companies request from you, and this is then sent to either your payment gateway, your acquirer, to companies like AllSecure. Nemanja was showing this. So basically, they will take care of that data, and you will never see it. It will never go to your systems, which has heavy impact on security. And why am I mentioning this? Because of something which is called PCI DSS, which stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. And it was built by these big players, so much bigger players than anybody here. And they've decided, okay, we see that there is a huge problems in cyberspace, in e-commerce. So we're gonna build a standard, security standard that applies to everybody who stores, processes, or transmits cardholder data. So everybody who has to do anything with cardholder data, they have to follow these rules. The difference is, if we are going back to the previous slide, on your left-hand side, those guys have to do everything. They have all requirements which are applicable to them, while on the right-hand side, guys who are providing you the red square, they are dealing with security. And it's basically, for you, as a blue square company, you don't have much to do with this, because actually all the security is done by those providers. So also to tell you, sooner or later, if you're dealing with card data, somebody will request this from you, either your bank or your service provider or card brands. So depending on how and what you are doing, they will approach you and you will have to comply with this. And now you're thinking, okay, but I mean, I have a web shop, I'm doing online sales. How can they breach me? Usually what happens, and that's why I was telling you for that first line, what is important is phishing, because attackers are not targeting technology. Technology can be configured really good, and they will not waste their time. They will go for human beings, because humans are usually either the weakest link or the strongest link in the chain. So that's why they will do that. And regarding phishing, who of you here thinks they were a phishing victim or a victim of a phishing attack in the last 6 months or 1 year? Or attempt or successful. Let's say it's successful. So who of you thinks they were successfully attacked in last 6 months? Nobody. Or let me rephrase the question. Who of you thinks they weren't successfully attacked? So if you leave your hands down, then you admit that you were victims of phishing attack. If not, let me see your hands up. Okay, so a couple of people don't understand if they were or not, but let me just take my phone for a second. What would you say if I told you that 25 of you were victims of phishing attack in the last 10 minutes? Yes, because that's how phishing is done. I just have to convince you, I have to go for your emotions. That's why I was saying the humans are the weakest link. I'm not targeting technology. I just try to convince you to click on that link. You don't know what's behind that link. You just trusted me that we are doing a survey. I mean, we are a security company. We don't care who likes mankini or not. I mean, that really we don't care. Although I have to say, respect for 9 of you who wants to wear that and who have a good fashion style. So massive respect. And yeah, so what can you do? I mean, you have to raise the awareness of people because as we've seen, human beings are the weakest link in a chain. So the security awareness is something you have to work on. Also, follow the industry best practices. I mean, even PCI DSS that I was mentioning, it's not the nuclear science, it's actually a common sense in security. So if you follow some of those rules, you will not be that guy who fell when he was running away from bear, because then attackers will just move to the next victim, because it will be too expensive for them to target you. And maybe last but not least, because I was mentioning Hollywood movies, and I would say common sentence from those Hollywood movies is first shoot, then ask questions. Here is first ask questions and then click, because the click can be quite dangerous. So that was it from me. I hope you got at least some useful information. I don't know if there are any questions. Maybe I can, let me first, if there are any questions, specific questions? No? Then I will probably answer, let's say 70% of those questions that you might have. Those links were not malicious that we've put over there. So
one more. Who got the present? Who got that?
Sorry?
Who's the winner?
Who's the winner?
Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
Let me
Do we have someone?
Decide. I mean, you see what it is.
Well, someone should get it. Let's ask who are that 9
I'm
people.
trying to decide because we didn't collect any personal data, to be honest. So we just have a number that 9 people of you would like to wear this. So
okay.
I think maybe the fair thing would be that one of those 9s. Nemanja said. Okay.
Okay, who will admit it? Go ahead.
Nemanja is winning this.
Opa. Congratulations.
It's all sizes.
It was trick or treat.
Yeah. Basically, the trick was to convince you to.
Okay, is there any question, maybe?
Yeah. Yes, can we see Nemanja? Yeah, I mean, I trust that he will look good in that, but please don't send us the picture.
Thank you very much, guys. That was it for today. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks.
And of course, see you tomorrow. It will be as great as today, I hope. Thank you once again. Bye.